Hello, Jodi here from Joli Natural Skincare, coming to you from the White House, the little White House. Just a little place we stay in the country every so often just to recoup and reset. And there's our little doggy. And this is the garden. All the flowers here, not that they're flowering yet, but they're all white. This old, 1920s fence. Pretty cool. It's just so lovely and peaceful out here. It's got some really cool things too, like this old-fashioned pear. They're a small brown pear. Obviously it's winter at the moment, so things are dormant. There's Doggy across the way. Another fruit tree and another one. This one here is apple. Oh, hello Doggy. And this here is the secret garden. At the moment it's not secret, you can see it from the road, but eventually I plan to set it up so that it's completely landscaped and covered. And right in front, that's what I call Jolly Henge. My boys and I built this. There was nothing here before, just bare grass. And so we built this little part to sit in and sit around the fire and roast some marshmallows. And there's my statue. It's an old mannequin. We spray painted him and plonked him there. More fruit trees. An old sheep dip. Can't really go near that water, apparently it's still poisonous. And this here in front is an almond tree, as well as the one behind. That's really cool. Last season we had fresh almonds off the tree. That was pretty magical. And down here is soon to be my prickly pear forest. And you can't really see it, but over in the corner just over there. There's a green leaf that is a different type of prickly pear. So eventually I'll have a nice selection. And as we walk towards the old sheep shed, you can see this new brick building there. The man who lived here before, named Jeff, he built that. And as you can see, he's an incredible builder. That is really amazing. We'll go in there in a minute. But in the meantime, this is the rockery. It's well overgrown with weeds because we haven't been here for a while to weed them. But right in there is a new olive tree, which is great because I've had to recently cut back the original olive tree that one came from because it's pushing on the neighbour's fence. And here's a prostrate prickly pear. This one grows low, and you can see it's got fruits on it. We're yet to taste them, see what they're like. Lots of water in the bins where we catch lots of water because in the summer it's very dry out here. Now we're going into the man cave. Just watch out for spiders above me because, ooh, yucky. We do have some lights. I don't know if it'll work. Oh, that one came on. The fairy lights did not. So we call this the man cave. It's the old sheep shed. Little paddocks where the sheep were. Oh, creepy. Spider webs and all sorts of gross, disgusting things. Another little paddock. We did want to do this up one day and have some nice lighting and seating and such and fix the windows and things, but at the moment it's not weatherproof or anything. Lots of signs everywhere. Manly man signs. Because it's a man shed. Up here we've got a fox skull. Creepy. And a tortoise or a turtle. I'm not sure. I see another light switch here. What does this do? Nothing happened. Ooh. Oop. Touched a spider web. Ick. Okay. We have some lights. Let's turn these off. So look at this hideous web here hanging from the ceiling. This is all sorts of yuck. Oops, the fence has fallen down. I love the sounds of the animals out here. I'm gonna try and get over it. There we go. That's a pergola that we had made. So we can sit out by the water and look at just land for kilometres. Here's the dam. It's pretty big. Listen to the frogs. It's so cool. Sometimes we have ducks that come here and geese. And what we're doing with this land is it's ex-farmland, so we don't have animals on it anymore. And you can see over in the distance baby gums that are growing. So eventually they'll just come back to how they used to be, covering the land. Our rowboat. I wonder what that thing in the water is. That black thing. Try and get closer and have a look. It might just be a stick, but I wouldn't have thought it was shallow enough. It might just be a stick, but I wouldn't have thought it was shallow enough. I can't tell. What is that? It looks kind of like a bug. I don't even know if I can see it in the camera. There it is. That thing. It's definitely not the Loch Ness Monster. It's too small. It looks gross, whatever it is. Well, it doesn't seem to be moving, so maybe it is a stick. We have some thistle, which is problematic. It's a weed over in Australia. So what I'm doing here is growing bamboo and other things to try and stop the erosion. It's going to take a little while for the bamboo to really kick off and do its thing. But it's old rabbit holes and the rabbits dig and then the water gets in and then it collapses and crumbles. Lots of crows. There's the dam overflow. And ahead of us, all these trees. They're natives that have been planted there to help bring the nature back. And they have the most amazing array of flowers. Obviously not at the moment because it's winter. But in the spring they're absolutely gorgeous and so many different types. My dad can name the types, but I have no idea. And the orb weavers aren't around at the moment, which is great. Wunderbar. Last time we were here they were huge and in amongst the trees and pretty kind of scary. Oh, that tree's flowering at the moment. Look at that. That's beautiful. Pretty red flowers. How gorgeous. And the one next to it through that gum is also flowering. How beautiful. It's just gorgeous out here. I love it. Being out in the country. The sun hasn't set yet. There's the moon. Can we see the moon? help. Oh, there he is. But later on I'll try and get a view of the sunset. Field mushrooms. Or toadstools. Either way, I'm not going to eat them to find out. And this is a stone fence my boys and I built. I'm trying to recreate one of those really cool stone fences they have in England. Clearly we're not great builders or engineers, but it is keeping the rabbits out. Here's my old man, as they say.
Oh, look at that.
Lang Jai La.
Lang Jai. What's the matter?
Li Ho Ma.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. No Oi Lei.
What are you doing? What are you up to?
Just filming. This is the old leaning kind of mud shed. There's my shadow. Ooh. Eventually, I want to turn it into a dwelling, like a little room, studio, some description. That's our project this weekend, is to try and make it stable. Since I don't build, I've got no idea what I'm doing. It's going to be funny. And more land you can see over there. Those trees over there that are now starting to propagate. So we're getting more gum trees again. The idea is to buy bits of land that used to have sheep on it, take the sheep away, and then let the land grow back. Although sometimes we do house sheep here that are rescue sheep. And they get to live their lives out here happily, eating all of the grass. Oops. Got to walk here without tripping. Look at it, it's so pretty, isn't it? I mean, it's just boring meadows, but pretty. So the west is over here. Usually the sun goes down over there, but at the moment the sun is going down over there. So it's obviously moved over a bit. And now we walk towards the creek. Nice and full. You can see it's fallen. Whatever you do, don't shake any trees. The huntsman's fall on you. Ouch. What plane's that, Mitchell? There's some, what do you call them? Rose hips that I collect and make rose hip wine with. Pardon? Oh, skeleton. Dead fox. That's my shadow. I look so tall. One of my favourite spots. There's a tree in the middle and the water comes on either side of it. Wow, it's so pretty. Look at this erosion. Wow. Another waterfall. Oh, that is so cool. Ooh, just walked through a spider web. Look. Oh, how cool is that? And there's a fallen tree. Alright, I'm going to try and walk across it. Oh look, kangaroo tracks. Let's just quickly film that. Kangaroo tracks. More baby gums. Can you see them? Look how many there are. This is wonderful. Oh, I see. He's right under that tree. Right. Where is it? There. Wow, he's huge. He's staring right at me. there's two over there. Ah, there's some more over there. How cool. If I move, they'll jump and then you'll see them. Oh, I see, up the top there. Just call me Joli Attenborough. Just under that tree is the big male, staring at me. There you are. Hello, Prince. I don't think so. They were too high above the ridge.
I was hoping you'd come to me.
Here is a water hole
You're running up.
coming from the dam. Oh, look where they go.
It's all pop up eventually. It's a tiny duck. Don't know how long it's going to hold its breath for.
And here we have, in his natural element, Metro Man. Up ahead, we have the old site where the house used to be, next to the old peppercorn tree, they say. The old peppercorn tree. I'm a bit huffed and puffed walking up all those hills. There's not a lot of evidence anymore that the house was here. Except this old pit that's now filled with water. You can find little bits of clay, things in there. And a bit hard to see with the grass overgrown, but there's holes in the ground where the old stumps were. And so the house itself was built in the late 1800s, the Little White House as we call it. Used to be atop this hill, which I imagine, hello kookaburras, was quite windy. And when electricity came in the early 1900s, it was moved down the hill closer to the power lines because it was much cheaper to move the house than it was to bring all the wires all the way out here, which is mind-boggling. There of the sunset, the sun going down over the hills. Must have looked beautiful back in the day. And while we're in the country, I'm going to make some chocolate brownies for the boys to snack on. So to begin with, I'm going to preheat the oven to 180. So we get 25 grams of butter in a pot, 200 grams of chocolate, any chocolate makers that are watching, you need to make the packets easier to open. Warm this on the stove until it's melted. And these brownies are triple chocolate brownies. I've only just started making brownies. This is my third attempt. I made them once and the children loved them, and I've made them a few times since. So the chocolate's melted and just let that cool. And while it's cooling, prepare some other ingredients. 2 eggs, lightly whipped. Here I've got 1/2 cup of flour and 1 1/4 cups of plain flour. And here's where all the chocolates come into play. Got some dark chocolate. That's 100 grams of chocolate here. What a terrific mess. And then we do 150 grams of white chocolate. White chocolate. And now we put it all together. Start with with our chocolate mix. It's now cool. We add to that the sugar and the eggs. Mix. When it's nice and amalgamated, we add the flour. It's interesting brownies, the consistency, how it all just kind of comes together. Giant chocolatey goodness. I mean, to be honest, this is way too sweet for me. That's why I make it for the boys. They'll run off and work off all this energy, whereas I wouldn't. It'd just go straight to my hips and thighs. How it sort of clumps together, it's really quite magic. Then we add the chocolate. Probably could get the pieces a little bit smaller, but either way. And we're meant to put that in a baking paper lined tray, but there is no baking paper here at the country house. So tin foil it is. Spread it out. Where is it? There we go. Kind of looks like mousse. Then we bake this in the oven for 30 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'll just give you a little tour of this old country house. So this is the old hob. It would have had a wrought iron cooking thing here, but that's been taken out and this oven has been put in. So that's where the old chimney was. You can still see the chimney outside. And this is the space, my workbench, the fireplace, my favourite part of the house. Here we've got the lounge room. It's really quite a small space. Back in the days when country houses were tiny. So we've got the front window. So as I mentioned before, this house was built in 1887, I believe. So that makes it 30 years old. Sorry, 136 years old. So then we've got the entry, front door, bedroom, hallway, and up here there's a clothes drying thing hung from the roof so that all the hot air travels up. And we've got that typical straight from the front door to the back door view that old country houses usually have. And then we go back through to the kitchen, another bedroom, and I love this door. It's my favourite thing about the house. I've got a thing for French doors. Oops, camera shadow. And this is the mudroom, where all our boots and shoes and such are kept. Another bedroom over there. Laundry and bathroom. And this whole section, bathroom, laundry, mudroom and bedroom, were the old lean-to. Back in the day when the house was first built, this would have been a little tin shed on the back of the house that has since been upgraded. And that's the view from the back. This is where I made the Are My Boots video with the rain pouring down. And we often wake up to see roos going across there, coming over to the dam that's there, and in the evening as well. So yeah, this is a little tiny house. One of those old-fashioned houses where everything was really small, just a lounge room, a kitchen, a few bedrooms, and all my artwork, of course. I'm always painting. Some of those are my children's paintings as well. And my garden inspiration, how I want my garden to look eventually. I can wish and dream. So yeah, little tiny house. It's got a really lovely vibe to it, unlike our other country house that used to actually give me chills. I couldn't walk through it at night time. I was just too freaked out, to be honest. Whereas this house got a really nice feel to it. And this little butterfly was made by another small business. And I love it because it's a butterfly, just like the Joli logo, pretty special. Right, so I'll leave it there, let the brownies cook, and come back and show you what it's like when it's ready. Okay, here's the finished result. It's been cooling for half an hour. You have to let it cool before you cut it. It's got a nice hard crust. It's soft in the middle. Gooey, I can feel it already. Another thing too is you can substitute the extra chocolate that you added for things like nuts. So let's have a look what it looks like inside. Wow, look at that. Got the nice melted chocolate pieces. Beautiful. Right, definitely time to make myself a cup of tea and enjoy a yummy piece of chocolate brownie while I sit by the fire. And I'm back. This time I'm going to be making a chocolate martini. A friend of mine whom I follow on social media, who is also a small business owner, shared this recipe and I had to try it. So here goes. We start with chocolate syrup and we drizzle around the glass. Gonna decorate it like so. Then we do a half a cup of chocolate liqueur. Ooh, just enough. Pour that into my special shaker. Half a cup of vodka. And half a cup of Baileys. Ooh, yum. This is meant to go in one of those proper shakers over ice, but it's really too cold here to have an ice cold drink, so there's no ice. Pour it into our glass. Some for him. Some for me. Let's have a sip. Oh, nice. Just enough alcohol to sink a sailor. Right, now I'm going to run a nice warm bubble bath and go and enjoy these bevies while I enjoy a hot soak.